The robot threat. Communications with the robots were properly re-established after the First War, but the victory faded quickly as the news on the Battle of Calypso reached all the colonized corners of the Federal Empire. The speculations of an interstellar threat of mad Odysseus probes turning back to conquer human colonies spread much fear on the colonial frontier. As a result, the colonies on the frontier demanded increased military protection from the Federal Empire. To avoid panic and rebellion, the Federal Empire ordered its imperial fleets to be stationed in the colonized sectors, positioned close to the distant sectors of the Calypso and Akbochimi systems. A small fleet of imperial spaceships were also sent to join the battered fleet in the Calypso system in preparation for an offensive strike against the very heart of the robot problem. However, by moving forces from one corner of space to another, it weakened the Empire's presence and power in certain sectors, causing colonies to seize the moment and gain enough political power to make the people rise up and demand imperial independence. This threat to the Federal Empire postponed any further reinforcements of new spaceships to Calypso. Since these vessels are considered vital to stabilize the current conflicts that had arisen within the Empire itself, naturally, the Federal Empire would not redraw their imperial battleships currently deployed in the Calypso system. The Federal Empire also kept their word to the loyal colonies that it would not station any imperial military command or forces on Calypso, which assured the colony's future as an open market for any new investment. The task to uphold law and order, as well as the defense of the colony, has been given to the local authorities and the Colonial Guard. The Federal Empire maintained command of the solar system space defense. The rest it laid in the hands of the settlers themselves. To keep the planet safe from further robot invasions, a solid orbital defense system had to be constructed before all else. In order to release enough resources for this purpose, all other projects on rebuilding the colonial infrastructure on Calypso were postponed. Funds have only been focused on rebuilding one single city, the city of New Haven. Omega Tech constructed a basic network of orbital energy-emitting satellites, which included deep space detectors, patrolling drone ships and drone carriers. By constantly expanding the orbital defense network, it created an impenetrable planet defense system for the future. The original plan was to use this network as a defense against asteroids, but it was now reworked to include 5 times as many units. A built-in safety system in every unit guaranteed that none of the offensive orbital weapon systems could be armed and directed towards the planet itself. The entire defense network is connected to the Exodus, which now served as an orbital command central. After several failed attempts to penetrate the defense network on Calypso, the Akbochimi base matrix seemed to realize that it would take far too much time and resources to break through the increased orbital space defenses around Calypso before its own system would be invaded by counterattack forces. It kept building new modified Odysseus probes, but kept them stationed in the close vicinity of the Akbochimi system for protection. Unmanned scout probes from the fleet in the Calypso system were sent out to investigate the Akbochimi system and soon discovered that a similar defense network was already being constructed around the main planet of Akbol. Soon these scout probes wouldn't even get that close to the Akbochimi system as the robots began to deploy their modified Odysseus probes, now called Titans of War by the Imperial fleet, and position them further out in the system to form an own first line of defense. At this rate, it would no longer be possible to recapture the Akbochimi system with the currently available resources or technology within the Calypso system. It became obvious that the robots had access to far superior technology when armed groups of robots somehow managed to penetrate the orbital defenses and suddenly began to appear on the surface of Calypso. It took some time before it became clear that the robots truly did just appear out of thin air. Somehow the Matrix on Akbochimi had managed to reveal the secrets of true dimensional travel and used it to develop a superior form of teleportation technology, thereby being able to construct a fully functional deep space teleportation system. The robots were now able to deploy and teleport their troops across time and space and drop them down directly on the surface of Calypso. Although fewer in number, these new robot invaders were far better constructed and equipped compared to their predecessors that once ran amok on Calypso. Their mission was as clear as ever: to destroy all humans and take over the planet. As the robot threat increases, Imperial fleet of Calypso has come to realize that an attack on the corrupt robot homeworld, the Akbochimi system, would be impossible since the robots now possess a superior technology and nearly infinite resources. It makes the robots far too powerful compared to the forces of the Federal Empire, and an attack on their planet would be a virtual suicide. When the problem was brought before the Imperial Chamber, it decided to change strategy and made up a new and far more controversial plan. They believe that if given enough time, the robots will continue to develop and deploy new technology with their invading forces. Upon defeating these new robots, the technology can be recovered and extracted in order to increase the research and technological development of mankind. This conquered robot technology will then be used to create new weapons against the robots. Weapons that someday will finally defeat the raging machines once and for all. In short, the superior ability of humans to adapt and invent things by both logic and abstract thinking will sooner or later put them side by side with the robots' flexible but strictly logical minds. In the end, it will bring mankind the tools they need to put an end to the robot war and regain control of Calypso and the Akbochimi system. It was considered the most likely entropy for the planet according to a simulation of the problem performed by GAIA, the Global Artificially Intelligent Advisor, and likewise the Imperial Central Supercomputer on Earth. This also gave the controversial planet's official name, Project Entropia. The downside of this entropy is that the robot invasion of Calypso has to continue in order to obtain the crucial knowledge required to finally liberate Calypso from the robot menace. Something that is not favored too well by the settlers on Calypso, but it's something they now have to learn to live with. The land once called New Eden now felt like a painful memory of a paradise lost long ago, and the authorities changed it to Old Eden. However, being struck by a sense of dark humor in their hard and lonesome struggle against the restless robot invaders, the local citizens of Calypso learn to refer their small pocket of human civilization as the land of Entropia. This is the present time.
Cut.
The land of Entropia. This is the present time.
Cut. Look, Ian, we're not going to hear you over the lightning bolts. Okay, we're going to add the sound effects later. It's going to be super loud. I don't know, if you need motivation, look at his haircut. Look at Mark's haircut. It's ridiculous. I mean, 2 years, that thing's going to be outdated. I'm looking at it, and I'm getting pissed off.
The land of Entropia.
Lizard lick, merp, merp.
The land of Entropia. The land of Entropia. The land of Entropia. The land of Entropia.
Land of Entropia.